Interracial dating is a very controversial topic. I've talked about it before, and a lot of you talk about it as well. While and some of us are okay with it, there are a lot of people in the black community that are not okay with it. And I don't believe it's because black people just dislike white people. It's most likely because of the trauma that African Americans have faced in the United States. So as a defense mechanism, black people started to also treat whites in the same vein that whites treated us. And that's typically the case still today. You know, it's looked upon very harshly if you're a black man with a white woman, and in some cases, if you're a black woman with a white man. It's not favorable in the African American community. We're one of the few communities within the African diaspora that heavily look down against it. And some of us have our own personal views that we share. For example, Dr. Umar Johnson speaks about interracial marriage quite fervently in this particular clip.
During that particular interview, you talked about a variety of issues that also got people talking. One of them dealt with your views on interracial marriage.
Yes, sir.
And so, so explain that for folks who did not hear it.
Certainly. Simply put, any black man who is with a woman who's not an African herself is going to have a difficult time getting respect from me. I believe black men need to be with black women. The black family is under attack. Only 1 out of every 4 black women gets married. The black woman is last likely to get married. She's the last married, the first divorced. We have what? 2/3 of our children being raised by working class and impoverished single black female-led house homes. The destruction of a nation begins in the home of its families. And if we want to save black people, we have to save the black family. And in order to do that, black men have to commit themselves to black women.
So when you talk about not getting your respect, so if that's the case, you're saying President Barack Obama to get your respect because his dad married a white woman?
Oh, not at all.
Would Harry Belafonte?
Not at all. I want to be very clear about something. As Pan-Africanists, the product of an interracial union is an African. I have heroes who are biracial. Some of the grandfathers of Pan-Africanism were of mixed racial ancestry. You don't blame a child for how they got here.
But I'm asking you this here. Harry Belafonte has a white wife. No respect for him?
It would be very, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your social status.
So no, I didn't say social. I'm talking about the one who put the work in.
Right, but you put him out.
No, I'm asking you. So Harry Belafonte.
Yes, sir.
Sidney Poitier, Julian Bond, Vernon Jordan.
And you're naming all them to say what?
No, these are all African American men who have
done some good things.
No, who have married white women. But you said any black man who marries a white woman will not get your respect.
Can I respond?
Yeah, go ahead.
And what I'm telling you is this. I don't care who you name. I don't care how much work you did for black people. Your greatest commitment to black people is being committed to a black woman. It is still a contradiction. No matter how much you think you did for the struggle, if you really were concerned with black people, you would have committed yourself to a black woman. So it doesn't matter how successful they are. It doesn't matter how great you may claim them to be. At the end of the day, you didn't think enough about your own people to marry a woman who looks like you.
And myself speak about interracial dating and relationships in a similar vein, and this is me talking about it. They have a Uganda podcast just a few weeks ago. What do blacks get as a group from marrying white people? Overall, you get nothing. Black people don't get nothing out of marrying outside the race. That's why China is what it is. That's why whites are what they are. White people and Chinese people, because they have power and rules of engagement, they can intermarry you, but their culture don't change. But when they marry us, we change. Everything about us changes. If you can fall in love with a white person, I expect you to do the same for our people. And I know that, people can find love and everything like that, right? But everything got to be with a black mind. We got to get out of the mindset of telling our people, wherever you find love, you find it. It ain't what the Chinese telling the people. That's why Indians run Uganda. What Indian person thinks like you? Family. Where? They run this country, the most of the economy. Will they integrate with you to give that up? What do they tell their folks? You marry your people. But again, me and Dr. Umar Johnson and folks like that are self-employed, meaning that we work. Well, stop the show. Dr. Umar Johnson begs. He doesn't really do any work. But we generate our own income because we're in our own personal business and things like that. We don't have anybody that we really answer to. We do use social media platforms that have strict laws against hate speech. But however, we can discuss our things without it being very hateful, while proving our points in whatever kind of matter that you may deem. However, there's a sister here, right? And her name is Claire Kyle. This is a sister that lives in the Dallas, Texas area, all right? Now, recently, she has been fired from her job. Now, let me tell you why. She was an elementary school teacher, a self-professed black supremacist. Her name is Danielle Allen. Now, what really got things going is that her black sister is in a relationship with a white man. Now, once she found out about this, I want to play the clip and then I'm gonna come back.
So, y'all already know why I'm having a bad day. My sister is a smasher. In my house, on this land. I just want to let y'all know that I'm about to do everything in my power to f this relationship up. And it's gonna be so fun and so satisfying to watch.
Now, she also tweeted, "I enjoy being racist. I'm never changing." And also there were, like I said, a few other clips that she talked about here, like this tweet, "A white man, a good dude, you smoking crack." And she also said here, "I would not give a damn if a white person had what my bio says, because we already know y'all are some blank people," right? EVIL. So it's right on brand. And there are definitely white pages on here with my bio and worse. All right, so let me just kind of talk about this and clarify what she's saying. There are some people who are definitely suspicious against white people in the black community, especially if you're in the pro-black community, right? Like, and there are some people in the communities that I'm a part of or associated with that feel strongly. Like, there are some people that don't even like buying things if they can from the white system. They want to buy it from people of black origin. But I just want to say this, right? You work for Mesquite School District, and again, she has on her bio, she's a pro-black male, she's a queen pick-me and logical free, pro-black men, black supremacist, and all of that. And I get that she's a sister that's trying to be down with the movement, and she's a sister that is really trying to represent her people. That's great. But let me just say this, right? And this is for me, being in similar communities that have talking points like this. Very similar. Maybe not as extreme, but similar talking points. When you work for the same people that's employing you to get on social media and express that you want to ruin your sister's relationship because she's with a white man, then you probably have students who are white in your class. You're being paid by the state of Texas. It doesn't make sense. If you're going to talk like that, you need to be having, like I said, your own business, your own private funding. And really it's difficult to talk like that online, And what I'm trying to tell you is a lot of the people who are, let's say, white racists, they don't waste their time saying they're white supremacists. What I have noticed is that white supremacists, who I would consider white supremacists, they hide themselves in their beliefs. And so how do they practice their white supremacy? They practice it by exclusion. Okay, I'm not talking about the white racists that are in poverty somewhere in Kentucky or Alabama, or those guys who jumped the black men at the Montgomery thing. I'm not talking about people like that. That's easy. All right, that's nothing to be talking about. The real white supremacists are looking at power. Okay, they have the power to keep people out, to oppress people. They keep their money and their systems together. And so what blacks who feel strongly about, to the point, and I'm not going to get into, whether you're a black supremacist or not, I won't even go there. But you want to keep your community all black. You want to support your people first. It takes work to actually put that together versus then going ahead and, let's say, for example, advertising it. Because when you advertise something like that, you'd be surprised you're going to have black people who hate on you the most. Let me just tell you, when I put my clip up there about interracial dating, the number one people who were against what I was saying, it wasn't no whites that came on there. It was coming. Maybe like one white person. It was a lot of black people. Black people, man, you got to understand, a lot of blacks love white people, despite what we've been through. Would love to live in a white neighborhood. They've been educated by whites. So when you're trying to talk to, black people about the fact that they're sellouts or they're buffoons or they're the C word, you don't get a lot of get back. And nothing is worse than somebody wanting to bring a brother down because of the white man, because you're trying to hate on the white man. And that's a lot of people who will turn you in. I can guarantee you the person that probably turned her in, it wouldn't be surprising to me if it was black. And if you really want to work with black people, you're going to have to do it through your works, through your efforts, through your community involvement, through your community service, through deliberately spending money with black businesses, to deliberately trying to improve black businesses, to deliberately dating black, all of those things that are actually hard to do, building a community for African Americans or for black people. You're going to have to do that and keep your personal thoughts, especially if you're employed by people like that. You can't afford to go out there and say that, right? There are a lot of people that I know that are doctors and lawyers and, accountants. A lot of people agree with what Kevin Samuels was talking about. All right. They cannot go on their bio and post that because of who they work for. And that's something that we got to understand, because the enemies of black people, they don't go out there and, pretty much say who they are openly, because that's too easy for them to get fired. So they don't say it openly. They say it behind closed doors. And every now and then we might hear a tape or something that exposes them. But for the most part, if people who dislike blacks, they smile in your face and they move away from you, and they do everything that is in their power to not deal with your people at all. That has to be the same attitude that blacks are going to be using in their defense. We need to also stop having so much effort in, telling people that we're black supremacists, or, we want the black race to do this and all of that. And then now it's going to be just, more concerned about getting to the actual work, doing what you need to do every day to make sure that your people are going to become somebody. That's the most important thing. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. Appreciate you for all you do, subscribe to the bell. We're out.